Do you have dollar bills that you want to set on fire? This is not the video for you. Hello everyone and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa and we're all about pantry preparedness. And today I thought we would talk a little bit about food waste because it is criminal. Today we're going to give you some tips to eliminate food waste. There is a huge percentage of food that is thrown away, wasted every single day in this country. Actually, in many countries, but in this country. And so I thought I would share some tips and ideas to help you eliminate food waste. The number one thing that you're going to want to do, and I know, you're going to want a menu plan. Oh no, please don't make me menu plan. I know, but menu plan, okay? Because if you know what you need for any particular menu, then you know you can go and look at your inventory of what is in your house, and then you can base your grocery list off of that. Stick to that and you won't waste anything. Learn to store your food properly. Yes. So there are certain things you can put in the refrigerator, certain things you can't, certain things you can put in the freezer, certain things you can't, certain things you should seal up, certain things you really shouldn't. So look into that. Google is your friend and look at different ways on how you're supposed to be storing your food. Like onions and potatoes should never be stored near each other. Did you know that? Become besties with your freezer. I'm besties with my freezer. But leftovers. If you have leftovers and you know you're not going to eat them in the next day or two, portion them up, put them in the freezer. You've got a ready-to-heat meal whenever times are tight. This may seem like a really simple suggestion, but keep your portion sizes in control. And I know that's easier said than done. Honey, I know, okay? But if you can keep those portion sizes down so that you're cooking smaller meals and the portion sizes are smaller, then there should be less food waste. Learn to preserve. Yes, I know, right? So canning, pickling, fermenting, freezing, doing all of that fun stuff. Did you know that pickling has been around since 2400 BC? Food preservation has been around for a long time, my friends, okay? And we've come a huge way in safety. So, learning how to can, learning how to dehydrate, learning how to freeze dry, learning how to pickle, learning how to freeze the proper way. Food preservation, it's a great skill to have. Probably talking to the wrong crowd for that. Another way to help reduce food waste is to compost what you can. Creating our own natural soil from good quality things is fantastic. Now I know not everybody has the ability to compost, but if you do, and they're coming out with all these great new products. Now there is one, it's kind of pricey in my opinion, but you know, I think it's called Lomi. It's an in-house composter, you know, for your kitchen counter or whatever. But they have different ways to compost to create your own soil. So it's a great way. If you're living in an apartment, it's like the perfect solution. Another great way to reduce food waste is to cook for your friends, okay? So if I make something that's way too large for filler myself, my neighbors end up getting it. Here, have half a casserole. Number one, it builds community. It strengthens friendships. And if you're a decent cook, it could be reciprocated too. You know, we've got the ugly meat mafia, right? Yeah. Well, eat the ugly produce. Produce doesn't have to be pretty for it to taste good and to still be good to use. Let's take the perfect example of a banana, right? Bananas only get better as they darken and look spotted. And I can tell you firsthand experience that the grocery stores are throwing out a ton of bananas because people won't buy them once they start getting all brown. It's unbelievable. Cook with what you have. Okay, so oh, I want to try this recipe. Oh, I don't have all the ingredients. Well, what do I have? You know, so go through and inventory what you do have. You know, I'm telling you this all the time, right? Inventory what you have in your house. And if you plug those in, you can make all kinds of different recipes. You can be creative. It's your kitchen. It's your rules. You can find out what works and what doesn't work. You can substitute things. It's fantastic. A great way to use vegetable scraps is to make a bag, stick it in your freezer, right? And put all your vegetable scraps in it. So the ends of the celery, the carrots, the peels, the potatoes, all of that stuff, the onions. And you can make a really fantastic nutrient-dense vegetable stock. Super easy. Now, if you're not into canning, then you can once it's all cooked up and cooled down, you can freeze it. You can definitely freeze it, or you can can it, and you have an amazing vegetable stock that literally cost you practically nothing because it was all stuff that you were going to throw away. It's kind of like a no-brainer, right? This is a big one. In my opinion, this is like one of the biggest ones, okay? So understand your expiration dates. I have my notes, okay? So sell by and expires on are just two of the many confusing terms companies use on food labels to let consumers know when a product will most likely go bad. The problem is the U.S. government doesn't regulate these terms. Yeah. In fact, the task is often left to food producers to determine the date they think a product is most likely to spoil by. The truth is, most food that has just passed its expiration date is still safe to eat. It really, really, really is. The people that are selling you this stuff are telling you when you should throw it out. Say what? Sell by is used to inform retailers when the product should be sold or removed from the shelves. Best by is a suggested date that consumers should use their products by. Neither of these terms means that the product is unsafe to eat after that given date. Can you imagine? Okay? Oh, this toilet paper only lasts until December. So in January, you should throw it out and just buy more. Okay. While many of these labels are ambiguous, used by is the best one to follow, okay? The term means that the food may not be at its best quality past that date. A movement is underway now to make the food expiration labeling system more clear for consumers. In the meantime, use your best judgment, right? And when deciding whether or not that food is slightly past its expiration date, it's safe to eat. Slightly past. They're not talking years. They're talking slightly past. Okay, the last one is to just learn to be creative, right? There are endless possibilities when it comes to cooking with food scraps. Get creative, try different recipes, there's all kinds of things to plug it into. There are endless ways that you can reduce, reuse, and recycle your food waste. So many ways. If you have chickens, give them to the chickens. If you have pigs will eat practically anything. If you have livestock, you can reduce that food waste immensely. But I know that not everybody does, but if you do, it's a great thing. By thinking more about the food your household wastes every single day, you can help create positive change, the peanut gallery, to conserve some of the Earth's most valuable resources. We are throwing away just millions of pounds of food every single year. Food that most people are paying too much money for, and that some people are not getting paid enough to produce. What a world we live in, right? It doesn't have to be difficult. With a small amount of effort, you can cut your food waste dramatically, save money and time, and help take some pressure off of good old Mother Nature. You can do it. Stop lighting those dollar bills on fire. Learn to use those scraps and to reduce food waste. With the shortages that they're talking about in the upcoming years, it really is important. Check out this video to see what shortages they are predicting for 2023 and do what you can to reduce that food waste. Until next time, be safe.